Chapter 10. Today's class. What is intelligence? Assessment. Genetic environmental influences. Spearman's theory. We have one general intelligence. Those who score high in one area often score high in another. Inspired by work in factor analysis. Looks at how variables relate to each other. Criticized by Thurstone, who grouped people into 7 different mental abilities. Others have found support for Spearman's theory by analyzing performance correlations in Thurstone's tests. Kittel-Horn-Carroll theory. Simplified Thurstone's mental abilities into 2 factors. Fluid intelligence is our ability to reason quickly and abstractly. Crystallized intelligence is our accumulated knowledge. The 2 may work together. Carroll analyzed other intelligence studies and found evidence for more specific abilities. GF helps us learn, and we gain GC in return. General intelligence. Raymond Cattell. GF and GC bridge the gap between G and specific abilities. John Horn. Gardner's multiple intelligence. Argues types are independent. Also proposed a 9th type. Existential intelligence. Led to the idea of learning styles, which hasn't been supported by research. Brain damage can destroy some areas, but leave others intact. People with savant syndrome often excel in one area and do poorly on intelligence tests. Sternberg's triarchic theory. More to success than academic intelligence, but there is 3 domains. Analytical intelligence is measured by intelligence tests that have single correct answers, can predict grades well and job success moderately. Creative intelligence is our ability to adapt and generate novel ideas. Practical intelligence is needed for everyday tasks that may have multiple solutions. Differs from Gardner somewhat, but they agree that multiple abilities contribute to life success and enhance diversity in education. All theories point to G, but grit and deliberate practice are needed to ensure success. Emotional intelligence, perceiving emotions, understanding emotions, managing emotions, using emotions to facilitate creative thinking. Some argue that maybe this is stretching the idea of intelligence too far. Intelligence assessments. Assesses people's mental aptitudes and compares them with those of others via numerical scores. Fall under 2 categories. Achievement tests reflect what you have learned. Aptitude tests predict what you are capable of learning. Francis Galton, fascinated with human traits and was a cousin of Darwin, wanted to measure natural ability and encourage the best to procreate to evolve humans. Had an exhibition in 1884 and measured abilities of 10,000 people. Reaction time, sensory acuity, muscle power, and body size. Measures did not correlate, and successful people did not have higher scores. Inspired many statistical techniques used today. Alfred Binet. Inspired modern intelligence tests. Identified children in France who were struggling intellectually. Goal was to measure mental age based on typical performance across ages. Focuses on problem solving and reasoning. Was not intended to measure inborn intelligence. Lewis Terman. Grew up in a farming family and studied people with high IQ, like himself. Adapted Binet's questions and developed the Stanford-Binet IQ test. Was a supporter of eugenics movement. IQ calculation developed by William Stern. Worked well for children, but not for adults, so standardization procedure is used for adults. IQ equal to X 100 equal to 125. David Wechsler created the most widely used test, the Wechsler Adult Intelligence Scale, and the Wechsler Intelligence Scale for children, and contains 15 subtests including N and similarities, vocabulary, and block design, and letter number sequencing. NN yields an overall score and separate scores for verbal comprehension, perceptual reasoning, working memory, and processing speed. Richard T. Nowitz. Getty Images. Principles of test construction. Standardization. To know how well you did, you must be compared to others on a normal curve. May need to be restandardized to account for the Flynn effect. Reliability, the test gives consistent scores when retaken. Validity, the test measures what it is supposed to. Many aptitude tests only predict future academic performance to a moderate degree. Extremes of intelligence. Intellectual disability is indicated if a person has an IQ below 70. Those with scores above 135 often become quite successful, are more likely to go on to earn a PhD. Gifted programs segregate these children into enriched classrooms. Remedial programs place children in the mainstream. Some wonder if these groupings create a self-fulfilling prophecy and promote discrimination. Intelligence across the lifespan. Different findings depending on whether cross-sectional or longitudinal methods are used. Longitudinal studies show that intelligence may not decline as quickly as previously thought. GC increases as we age while GF decreases. May explain why older adults resist new technologies. Heredity and intelligence. Estimates of heritability of intelligence range from 50 to 80%. Heritability is the portion of variations among individuals that can be attributed to genes. Twins have similar brains and show similar activity when doing mental tasks. We have not found a genius gene yet because intelligence is likely polygenetic. There are 52 genes that have been linked to intelligence, environment, and intelligence. Fraternal twins have intelligence scores that are more similar than non-twin siblings, suggests environmental contribution. However, adopted children's intelligence scores more closely resemble their biological parents rather than their adoptive parents. Genetic influences become more apparent as we gain life experience. Environmental influences are more impactful when the environment is poor. Growth mindset. What we can accomplish with intelligence depends on our beliefs and motivations. Motivation and study skills are better predictors of achievement than aptitude tests and previous grades. Believing we have control fosters a growth mindset, does not alter intelligence but makes people more resilient. Ability plus opportunity plus motivation equal to success. Low-income students who have a growth mindset perform just as well as high-income students. Can lead to self-blame if achievement doesn't occur. Gender differences? Males and females have the same G. Girls score better in verbal, emotion, and perceptual tests. The sexes perform mostly the same in mathematics. Boys score higher in complex math and spatial ability tests, maybe due to cultural influences of gender norms. Racial differences? There have been racial and ethnic group differences in average intelligence test scores. High-scoring people and groups are more likely to attain higher levels of education and income. These sorts of differences are assumed to be environmental. Often these groups are taking a test in a second language, or a test that has been poorly translated to their first language. Race is a variable category and is not neatly defined. People who live in lower-income countries tend to have lower IQ scores. Effects of bias. Scientific meaning of bias in this context refers to whether the test can predict future behavior for all groups. We see that aptitude tests predict future success equally for all groups. In everyday language, we use bias to mean unfair. Aptitude tests may not be fair to second language learners, may lead to discrimination. Expecting that we will perform poorly can influence our score. Self-monitoring affects executive function. To-do list. Chapter 10. Practice quiz attempts. Discussion 1 posts. Read, review, Chapter 11.